Quick disclaimer, this is not a comparison between the Holy Spirit and ChatGPT because honestly, there's no basis for comparison. But you'll understand the idea behind this message in a few minutes. First, who is the Holy Spirit? The Holy Spirit is not a bird. Nope. The Holy Spirit is not just wind. Neither is the Holy Spirit just fire. These are symbols that sometimes are used to signify the presence of the Holy Spirit or mention anything about the Holy Spirit. But the Holy Spirit is not a bird, it's not a fire, it's not wind. The Holy Spirit is God. I always like to say in my prayers that God gave me a piece of Himself. And when I say peace, I don't just mean little. It's just me consciously reminding myself that even though God lives in me, I do not have some attributes that God has. For instance, I cannot be everywhere because I'm not omnipresent. I cannot know all things. My body is not immortal. My Bible tells me that when Jesus was living, He told His disciples that the Holy Spirit would come, and He did come. We see that at Pentecost. We know as Christians that the Holy Spirit is the seal which guarantees our salvation, simply put. In my understanding, the Holy Spirit is God in us. He is there to direct me. He's there to comfort me, to correct, to convict me, not to judge me, not to judge my wrongdoings or make me feel inadequate. The Holy Spirit is supposed to be my ride or die, with conditions, of course, because God is holy, and so I know that God cannot exist in certain conditions, which is why I say with conditions. So, as a Christian who has chosen to walk with God, I want to be in continual fellowship with God. I have to be if I want God to continuously walk with me. This is not to say that God abandons me on the way, no. But like I said earlier, there are certain conditions that God can exist in because of His holiness. The Holy Spirit is my G and should be yours too. Now we know that the Holy Spirit is a spirit. I mean, it's self-explanatory. He's called the Holy Spirit because He is the Spirit that is holy, a spirit that dwells with and in me, so much so that this spirit can even speak through my mouth. Now, who is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is a tool. It is not a spirit. It is not a person. In fact, we all know AI, and most of us know that this stands for artificial intelligence. So basically, this intelligence comes from another source. When you're learning computers, you often come across this phrase, garbage in, garbage out. So the quality you get out is highly dependent on what you put in. If you have used ChatGPT, you would know that the response is highly dependent on the prompt that you input. This is why a lot of content creators now share some detailed prompts to help you get desired results. That in itself is a skill, but I digress. So, is ChatGPT great or is AI great? Of course, very much so. Personally, ChatGPT has made and continues to make my tasks easier. So why do I feel the need to talk about the Holy Spirit and ChatGPT in this message, you might ask? First, there's no basis for comparison like I've previously mentioned. Absolutely not. Comparing them is absolute foolishness to me. But I'm making this video because I came across someone who highlighted this and it made me stop in my tracks. I had to ask myself questions. Like I already mentioned, I use ChatGPT for a lot of tasks, a lot. And in this, I'm mindless as to why I think it's okay to type a prompt asking ChatGPT what my next life move would be. Meanwhile, I haven't felt the need to pray about it. It has happened to me, and I know that this is not just my case. It has happened to a lot of us. You mindlessly type life decisions on your computer asking ChatGPT for results, and some of us actually run with this. I'm not saying ChatGPT is bad, like I mentioned earlier. I use it, but this video is to make you think about the reason why you're using ChatGPT. This message is to remind you that ChatGPT is a tool, but there is a source, and I have access to that source. My source is God. I need to keep this in mind when I ask ChatGPT to give me, for instance, 10 business ideas or 10 ways to do something or 10 actions to take in certain conditions. Don't misunderstand my message by thinking this is an attack on AI. No, this is not. It is just to remind you to check yourself and understand whom you're trusting. Are you trusting the tool itself, or you're trusting God to help you get your answers? You can pray about something and still use AI to execute. There is absolutely no harm in that. In fact, I believe that AI makes life easier for everyone. I've used ChatGPT to develop Bible reading plans. I've even used it to search Bible verses that I can't fully remember. So this is not an attack on AI at all. AI makes my life easier. This message is to remind you and keep reminding myself that AI isn't the one who is supposed to be my comforter or my guide. It's a tool to me and should be a tool to you. So be mindful. While we enjoy these mind blowing inventions, we should try to remember who we are and whose we are and the roles of the blessings that we have been given. As a parting note, ChatGPT searches for responses on the internet. I'm giving you this information in case you do not know. It searches the internet and gives you the responses based on what it finds online. If it's not on the internet, ChatGPT will not find it. It's a tool that produces the response from the available material it has, which is the internet. In other words, your response isn't totally tailored to you particularly. It can give you same answer or similar answers and give someone else the same answer or similar answers. Now I want to read a Bible verse to remind us of something, and this will be Job 28. In fact, we'll read it from 20 all the way to 24. So Job 28:20 says, "Where then does wisdom come from? Where does understanding dwell?" 21 says, "It is hidden from the eyes of every living thing, concealed even from the birds of the air." 23 says, "God understands the way to it, and He alone knows where it dwells." And 24 says, "For He views the ends of the earth and sees everything under the heavens." This is the God that we have. This is the God that lives in us. There is no one who knows your DNA, who knows the deepest ends of the earth, who sees places that are still hidden even from all flying creatures, who knows your past, who knows your present, who knows your future, who knows your gifts, your personality, even more than you, and who can give you direction and guidance. You then decide, who do you think should give you the final say before you run with an idea? Who do you think you should go to before you execute? You decide for yourself. Should you be consulting only ChatGPT to give you your life answers or your life direction or things to do with your life? Or should you consult God and then use ChatGPT like the tool that it is? I hope that this message gives you a reason to pause and think and understand your why, and also how you're using the tool that God has given you.